So we're going to do the part 12 of the question and answer video here, and it's going to be fantastic because there's light bulbs everywhere shining the lights on me, and we're going to ask the questions, and I'm going to give it the answers, and all of this is going to be a bigger pizza party. So, Q&A part 12, yay! Anyways, let's just jump right into it because we're getting really close. Creature3712, what are your biggest regrets and or fears? I regret not banging that girl. I fear what happened when I banged that other girl. Because I think she had the clap. My biggest regret is the fact that I started going to school for computer science. I actually have a degree. And I also have one in business. But it took me 5 years to get both because I didn't declare for the business major and the business degree until my last year, fifth year, the additional year. My biggest regret is not going in and just doing business immediately because had I done that, I would have been able to get my MBA and probably would have a little bit of a better chance in the job market. But if that would have happened, I probably wouldn't be doing this channel right now, so I can't live with too many regrets, man. I have some, but I keep a lot of those buried underneath the surface because there's no point. And can I do a death metal growler scream? No. It would just sound like, which sounds terrible, so just no. At JNO ACR, from your point of view, what are the possibilities for Pantera to join the band with Zakk Wylde as guitarist? Last year, the potential looked really, really good. I haven't heard anything about that in quite some time. And that's been more than half of a year. You know, we're coming to close to 9 months. I still think it'd be a really good idea. I think he's the best choice. So if they do it, then good. I hope that that's who they choose. Stefan Burns, what do you want Metallica to do on their next album as far as a vibe or a sound? Not Saint Anger. Like, you can continue on Death Magnetic. Because like I said, compared to Saint Anger, Death Magnetic sounded amazing, but it was really just kind of an average run-of-the-mill album. But if you continue on that sound and actually build off of it, and actually build a little bit of variety, like a little more variety than they had on that record, then it has the potential to be a really, really good one. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I really don't. I think that this is going to be a critical album. I think that this is going to be an album that, after, you know, Lulu, they're really going to want to try to return back to form because, you know, right now, a lot of fans are probably very confused. They had Road and Reload. Road and Reroad. I'm Scooby-Doo now. But they had Road and Reroad, and everyone was like, what the fuck is this? And then they had Garage Incorporated, and everyone was like, hey! And they had Saint Anger, and everyone was like, whoa! But they had Death Magnetic, and it was like, and then they had Ruru, and everyone was like, what? Yeah, they need to have a good album. That's all that can be said. Do you feel that Iron Maiden and Judas Priest are underrated among young metal listeners today? And which of the two do you like better and why? Says Weez Lalad. No, they are not underrated. Judas Priest might actually be a little less appreciated than Iron Maiden. But I'm seeing more and more youth come up and pick up the Iron Maiden releases. I think that Iron Maiden still will maintain itself as a classic band for a lot of generations because with Iron Maiden, a lot of fathers, I think, are passing that on to their sons or mothers to their daughters, whatever it may be. A lot of them are bringing their daughters to the slaughter. A lot of them are running to the hills with the troopers in order to see and speak the number of the beast. Now that I got that makeshift thingy out of the way, Judas Priest I don't think is necessarily underrated. I think that they just need to have more young kids give them a chance, because if they like Bruce Dickinson, the next step is Rob Halford. I mean, really. Cover Killer, what do you think of Porcupine Tree? Prometheus Moors, I love them. And what are your views on libertarianism, aka classical liberalism? I may get to that. I really might get to that on a thought buffet. I like it. I like it. My girlfriend's actually a registered libertarian, so if I hated it, I'd be, you know, jacking off a lot. Anyways, Brendan Adams, what is your favorite thing to eat? My favorite thing to eat is probably pizza. Escape to Nirvana, this has been flagged as spam. Oh no, is it spam? Is it really spam? What got you into metal? Stuff. Metallica. ECW, the music. A lot of stuff. Eduardo Garcia, congratulations on the 9K subscribers. A two-parter, if you don't mind. What is your favorite Peter Gabriel era, Genesis era, Collins era? There's lots of eras in here. There's lots of eras in here. Lots of eras. I don't know. I really don't. It's a really, really hard question to answer. I'd have to go back and listen to Genesis a good bit in order to really determine my favorite. I like Gabriel's stuff better, though. That's the one thing I can tell you with certainty, without like looking up and doing research and remembering shit, because I have a bad memory. But I like Peter Gabriel more than I like Phil Collins as far as Genesis goes. Patrick Toe, what are some of your favorite local or lesser-known bands that you want your subscribers to check out? Funny that you should mention this, because I forgot to do a review of a local band's song that is actually kind of good. I'm not going to say this name right because I never have. Chain the Scalia. S-C-Y-L-L-A. I know that it's some mythological beast. I know I fucked that up. I don't care. Check them out. They have a song out there that they did with another local female singer named Catherine Thomas. That is very, very good. And what's funny about it is that I know the singer personally, and one of his biggest influences was Frankie from Immure. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, Jesus, fuck, this is going to be awful. And then I listened to it and was like, what the fuck? This is actually awesome. This is actually really, really good. They have a lot of talent. You know, they've played with bands such as Born of Osiris already. You know, Bam Margera has a band, and they've played on his festival. They're going to be at Dysfunction Fest around here with Trapped, which that's really what Trapped's doing lately. I don't doubt it, because their music hasn't exactly been good since Headstrong, but I think they might steal the show there because Trapped is just awful. But yeah, that'd be the one band, the Lone Band, the Lone Ranger, because all the others, I know you guys think you're good, you know, Good Night Irene and all this other fuck shit. No, you suck. Fuck off. Anyways, Fear the Viper, do you like Volbeat? Yes, I just did a review of the new album, which probably came after this, so yeah, I do. They're good. Shawnee likes death metal. Hey, coverkillernation, what do you think of the One Direction fangirls making fun of Mitch Lurker's death and saying his daughter should kill herself? Well, that's something that they can say, because once One Direction breaks up, they will all be committing mass suicide. So they're hoping to take other people with them. That way, whenever they do it, they actually feel like they're being trendy and popular, and everything is fine. Only if you're trendy and popular, you can't start the trend, because if you start the trend, then you can't be a sheep. Then you're just starting a trend, and you don't know if people are actually going to continue the trend. So they need to have the trend already start. That way they can follow it mindlessly, just like they follow all this crappy music mindlessly. See, there you go. And also, for anybody who, you know, thinks that One Direction is better than Dying Fetus, look up idiot in the dictionary. There's a good chance you're going to see yourself. Anyways, Autumn's Antagonist, what are your favorite Forgotten Tomb songs? I've been getting into them recently, and they are really great. And what about Naglfar? With Forgotten Tomb, I'm just going to say this. I don't care if it's an unpopular opinion. Fuck y'all! Negative Megalomania is a phenomenal album to get into. I really, really like that. It's probably, it wasn't, I don't believe, on my top 25 list, but if I did a top 30, it'd probably be like number 27. I forget my own top 25 list, goddammit. I told you I have a bad memory earlier in this video. As for Naglfar, I really enjoy, see, I'm giving you albums. I'm not giving you songs, because, you know, that's the way I roll. Sheol and Vitra. I know people will probably tell you other things. Diabolical also. I'm going old school, because that was the stuff that got me into the band. And honestly, the stuff that's come after that, it's good, but it's a lot, it's tame compared to this older stuff. The older work is good. I really like it. What do you think about the band Death Angel 30, STU 30? Like them, very good stuff. We offer one of their albums, Act 3, for like a stupidly low cost at FYE for $5. Why more people don't buy that album, I don't know, because Room with a View is a really good soft acoustic song, something that you wouldn't expect, and it was well done. Another Patrick Tao. Hi, Toe. Wow, I can't talk. Who would you consider the top 5 most influential cheeseburgers? The Cat That Has Cheeseburger is number 1. 2 through 5 are irrelevant. Let's see, Baked Frodo 9 to 6. Have you listened to Parkway Drive's new album, Atlas? No. I would really like to hear your opinion about it. I haven't listened to it. Give it a listen if you haven't. I will think about it. I'm positive you will be impressed. That is a very, very large and very, very risky statement for you to make. I like you. You are a go-getter and a risk-taker. you should consider going to casinos. Black Artifact, what's your favorite melodic death metal band? I know that they didn't start off this way, but Rotting Christ, because they've kind of taken that direction, only they're more melodic black metal, but, you know. I'm going to go with that. I also really like At the Gates. Carcass had a little bit of an era there, though nobody likes to recognize it. I like that part of Carcass's discography. You want to fight? I didn't think so. What do you think of In Flames' stylistic change? It's poop! What was the first hardcore / new wave band to incorporate Gothenburg sound? This is a matter of debate. This really is. This is a matter of debate. It's been widely registered as a belief that it was At the Gates. It was, you know, the original In Flames, Dark Tranquillity, Soilwork came later, and, you know, Carcass was part of that with Heartwork and Swan Song to a degree. You know, people were lumping them in. The evolution of this really came stylistically out of the expansion of death metal. We had like the jazzy, you know, style of death metal that came out of bands such as Cynic and Atheist, and so it was no surprise that this melodic sound was going to kind of come and fuse together melody and death metal in order to kind of make this beast that we know of today. It really is not that difficult to imagine, and of course it happened. I would really go with, you know, In Flames, At the Gates, you know, Dark Tranquillity trio as three of the major founding fathers, although I'm sure there are some that predate that maybe never got that much attention. Daner the Gamer, have you ever watched Metalocalypse? I have. I've watched probably most of the first 3 seasons of the show. I love it. I love to do impressions of the characters. You know, you just go off on your own little tangent. Say, hey, you guys seen the episode of South Park last night? Oh yeah, I saw that. That was fucking brutal what Cartman did to Butters. You know what he did to Butters was just put his balls in his mouth and they didn't realize what he did. He puts his balls on his mouth? Sounds dildos to me. Hey, Murderface, why don't you go kill yourselves? They're terrible, but whatever. Got a couple comments with hell. This has been flagged as spam. Who's flagging this stuff as spam? Oh, because it's a top 10. Ding9891. I may do a Swedish metal band's top 10 eventually, one of these days. You know, I might not, but thank you for the question. Tyler Jenkins, what are your thoughts on the band Hailstrom? And could you please do a 9 Inch Nails discography review? I really don't like Hailstrom very much. I really don't. I don't know what it is about them. I really don't. I remember the song, oh Jesus, what the fuck was the name of their first single? It was played to me by a friend of mine like a bajillion years ago. I Get Off, I think it was, and it was like, okay. And then the rest of the stuff I heard, I was just like, meh. 9 Inch Nails discography review, I don't know if that's going to happen. I do really like 9 Inch Nails, but I don't know if there'd be a lot of interest. Pretty Hate Machine's a really good album. Downward Spiral, fantastic album. The Fragile, though, is where it's at for me. I love that double album. It's just awesome. Let's do 3 more and call it a day. Doug Gilmore, 9393. Are you religious? And what is your favorite Marilyn Manson album? I have only one Marilyn Manson album in my collection, aside from the new one that I reviewed, and that's Antichrist Superstar, and I still really like that. I really prefer that over a lot of the other material that I have sampled. As for me being religious, no, I'm not. I am what I call a realist, and I don't even, if that's a thing, then I'm not that, because I'm not associated with any real thing. You know, for me, it's just that I have a pre-established doctrine and beliefs for myself. You know, be a good person. You know, don't be an asshole to somebody unless somebody is an asshole to you first, or, you know, is perpetuating being an asshole to somebody else. You know, it's a parallel of the whole treat others the way you'd want to be treated. It only just adds the fact that if someone's fucking over your, you know, friend or something like that, tell them, hey, stop fucking him over or else I'm going to freaking kick your ass and then teabag you like a 12th grader. You know, and the thing is that you are the purveyor and you are the person that controls your destiny. You know, what your life becomes is through the risks that you take, it's through the chances that you take, it's what you make of it. And also, finally, it's, in my belief, that the reason why there is no God is because the true God is within you. Because the element and the idea of God is an idea. And the idea of God is something that is held deep inside of these people. That's what faith is. Faith is a belief even though there is, no existence that proves it. And that all comes from what you feel on the inside, what feels right. So in reality, even though these people are worshiping, godheads that they are trying to give, photographs of, or, pictures of, some sort of artist rendition of, in order to really kind of visualize the faith, the real place in which God truly exists is within yourself. And if God exists within yourself, then you must be God. Makes sense. Makes sense to me. Boswell Bum, congrats on 9,000 subscribers. Thank you. I've gotten a lot more since then. I appreciate anything that you have done to help that. I would like to personally thank you for introducing me to some new music. You're welcome, particularly Agalok. Well, that's awesome. I ended up really enjoying that band and probably have never listened to them if it weren't for your recommendation. Well, I'm glad I was able to help you. The question is, what are your thoughts on 9 Inch Nails? Wow! And it's 9 Inch Nails Day here on the Q&A videos. I like the band, but, my favorite's The Fragile. I like... Downward Spiral, I really like Pretty Hate Machine. The 90s era work I really worship because I grew up in the 90s, so I heard that work a whole heck of a lot. I had The Fragile on repeat on my Discman back on the bus. So, things like that. The newer stuff I haven't listened to as much, but I've heard some work and it's not bad. I'm excited to see Trent Reznor want to be a rock star again and maybe do another record. That'd be great. I have not listened to How to Destroy Angels yet, though, which actually has me very, very upset because I wanted to see what that sounded like. From reviews that I've heard online, it's supposedly pretty good. So, one more, Harmonic Kelly, what are your thoughts on the band Imperium? Oh my gosh. I remember listening to those guys a long, long time ago. Son of a bitch, I'm trying to realize if that's the same band. They had an acoustic album, it was very folky, very earthy, very organic. I remember liking the stuff, but I just don't, I forget the fucking experience. Now I'm going to have to go back and listen to that again. You've just encouraged me to, go on a ridiculous, spree. So, good job. Maybe that'll be in the 24 hours of reviewing. I don't know. Harmonic Kelly, you have stymied me. We must end this on a non-stymie note. Joe Jazz, Raz, 91. Joe Raz, 91. Have you ever met any subscribers or random people at your store? Random people coming up to you, telling you they saw you on YouTube or noticing you right away and saying, hey, you're Cover Killer Nation. In the store, I have not had that happen as far as I can remember. I've recruited a lot of people from the store, though. I've given them my information on YouTube. That way they can check it out. And we've ended up having a bit of a... correspondence. Usually whenever they come in, not so much through comments and things like that. And even if there was one through comments, I don't know all of their YouTube names, so I wouldn't be able to tell. However, whenever I go to shows, especially whenever I went to the Opeth, Mastodon, and Ghost show in 2012, I had a group of people. I was across the street, and I was just walking to get to the line, and there was just a bunch of people that were like, Cover Killer Nation! And I'm just like, sup? It's kind of a surreal but really, really cool experience. I'd like to meet a whole heck of a lot more of you, but it's, I understand there would be a lot of difficulty in doing that. You have to pick a centralized location, and you guys are all over the world, You guys are in so many different locations, and that's the one thing that I actually like about this, more than if I just had a local base, because a local base would be all, focused and dedicated on what that local base is kind of listening to. There'd be a little chance for expansion, a little chance for exploration without outside influence. And with all of you people being part of this, there is a better chance for outward expansion and for, outward influence. Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for right now. Joe Raz 91 is our last question on this part, so rejoin me later on and we will maybe get through the rest of these. I don't know. We're really, really close. I'll talk to you soon.